So that being said, I want to thank everybody today for joining us. My name is Christy Strauss, and I am the Brokerage Sales Director at IAD. And today with us is John Cullen, and he is the Senior Regional Sales Manager at LifeSecure. He's in the East region, and we're so pleased to have John with us today. John and I go way back. I worked with John. He's just an extremely knowledgeable person about so many products. He comes from a very rich sales background. And John's going to talk to us about some conceptual sales ideas today, not just about LifeSecure, but about bundling products and the positive impact it has for not just you, but your clients as well. And so John, thanks so much for taking some time today to join us. We really appreciate it.
Well, everybody needs to know that if it wasn't for Christy, I probably would not come on this call, but because she invited me, because I know the quality work that she does and obviously understand what you're trying to accomplish here, I'm more than happy to be here. Absolutely.
And, I just want to remind everybody out there, and when I did call John and said, hey, want to reach our agents and talk about some things here, it did bring something to the foreground. And that is one of the conversations John and I had. And that was how important relationships are, not just you with your clients, but us, the FMO with our partners, and us, the FMO with our agents, and that connection we have is so important and vital, especially what we've gone through in this past year. And just being able to talk about experiences that we've had this past year and bouncing ideas off of each other, and just that positive feedback and the importance of it. And just I want you all to know that we're here for you. And it's not just about, Christy, I need supplies, or Christy, do you have any information on LifeSecure's accident plan? Sometimes it's about, Christy, I'm in a rut, or Christy, help me get back on my feet again. Hey, wasn't that a song? Or yeah. Isn't that a line from a song?
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, right. Anyway, that's what it kind of clicked onto my brain when I talked to John. I was like, man, you realize what you miss when you have those certain connections. So I want you all to know that. And that's what we are here for. I realized it with John, and I want to express that same thing to you all today. We're here for you. John's here for you as a carrier partner of us. And, it's not just about, hey, here's another product, blah, blah, blah. Life's about more than that. It's about that connection, and let's help each other. And so, anyway, I'll move forward without getting too preachy.
Well, that's a really good point, because if you think about it, there's two kinds of sales professionals. There's those that sell by price only, or how much commission I get paid, with no real concern about what product is being sold. And then you have those that are more advisors and consultants that are really asking the right questions of their prospective clients or existing clients to make sure that they're really solving problems. On the one hand, I'm not saying it's right or wrong to sell on price, but it's kind of the age old, they tell you in church, if you have to scare somebody into the kingdom of God, you got to keep them scared to keep them there. So which means if I sell, oh, this is the best thing, it's 2% less. Well, guess what? Somebody will come by with a 2% less product and steal your business. So because there's not as much loyalty in the market, it is crucial to have relationships, just what you said. Look at the pandemic. People aren't able to see people. So therefore, you only have to go what they see on the screen or what they hear in their ear. Right. So LifeSecure has always promoted ourselves as being a strategic partner and not viewed as a vendor. So please don't view us as a vendor. we have a lot of sales experience. I have my whole life, and I know how this works. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying I've made more mistakes than most people. So I've learned how to do it right. And I'm happy to give that to anybody who wants to hear it, because if we do what's right, everybody wins. The policyholder wins, the agent wins, the FMO wins, the carrier wins, and everybody's taken care of. So hopefully today we're going to cover some stuff that will help you grow your business and help you expand it. But there's one thing that matters in all of it, and that's you have to apply yourself to do the work. No one's going to do it for you.
Right.
But I think we've simplified it enough that if you just apply a few things, well, you could really see some upside at a time where a lot of people are complaining. You could very well be the one saying, hey, listen, this is working for me and we're doing great. So hopefully we'll take care of that today.
Okay, great. So let's get started.
All right, I'm going to share my screen and I have to get the PowerPoint pulled up. So just bear with me for
Okay.
a second.
Perfect.
And just bear with me. You see me walking through this. Come on. All right. So tell me when you can see the full screen now. Tell me when you can see everything.
Not yet. Got to hit that share screen button.
Yeah, I did. I
Okay,
did. Is it not showing up?
not yet.
Okay. Well, I did hit share screen.
And make sure.
Host disabled participant screen sharing. So you've got to change something on your end.
Okay. Okay, let me go to participants. It's on my side.
Yep.
And
All right, I'm the host now. Okay.
okay.
Good. All right, so I'm going to do this window. And we're going to pull this up. And move some of this away so I can see what I'm doing here. Bear with me, we're almost there.
Now we're there. Yay.
All right. So now tell me if you can see the full screen. It's loaded up right there.
Just about. We're okay. Yep.
All right. So here's Insurance Advisors Direct. Here's Life Secure. So let's talk about a few things. The first thing I want to talk about is our agenda. Okay. So our agenda is to talk about why do this in the first place. Why are we doing it? Why are we bundling health and ancillary? And that could be under 65 health or over 65 health. Okay, either one, whatever world that you live in. We're going to talk about some simple steps on how to do it. We're going to show you how agents are finding success, and obviously we'll do some product review. We're not going to focus a ton on the products, but we'll do some. But obviously we're accessible to be able to get into that. So the Life Secure company, if you're not aware, we're owned by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. So we're a Blue Cross ancillary solution, which obviously for people that aren't aware of us, they look at that as, oh, that's a good thing. They look at that as a solid and safe position to be. We have national coverage. So if you sell outside the state of Michigan, we're going to have product wherever you're going to sell. We pay obviously weekly is how we pay out commissions. And then the last thing, and this is in reference to our accident plan, I think this is critically important. LIMRA, which is a national reporting unit, they recognize us as one of the top 3 carriers for accident sales in the country. So that's kind of a big deal when you compete against Aflac and all the major players.
Right.
They're spending millions of dollars to market. We spend $0 to market nationally. We only market through our distribution partners. So if we're number 3 and we're not spending the money that they are, that shows you how good that accident product is. In fact, I would be safe to say this to you, that if you find a better accident plan than what we have, you should write it.
Yeah.
I don't know that you will. So just to bring you up to speed on where that's at, okay? All right, then I want to talk about the portfolio. So right now with us, we're going to talk today about the accident, hospital recovery, and critical illness plans that are bundling in with health. We do have long-term care, but it's available on the work site only. Just to be very clear that the accident plan, the hospital plan, the critical illness plans can all be sold individually, and they can all be sold in a work site, list bill, payroll deductible environment. So please be very clear about that. We can sell to under 65 to over 65. We can in turn sell to individuals, and we can sell also to worksite customers. Okay. So that's what we have there. And it shows to me on the screen here, Christy, that your mic is muted. So you might want to check that.
So John, let me ask you this. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So you work with agents all across the country. And so what has been the biggest thing that has helped grow agents' business, that has helped agents and agencies help them become successful?
Okay, well, that's a really good question. So one of the things that's important is to realize the competitive market. Again, anybody can go anywhere to find products. They can go anywhere to get pricing, to get things. Why are they going to get it from you? So the first thing to look out is that you need to stand out from your competition. So I learned this a long time ago. I was trying to sell something to this group, and I was competing with other brokers. And one particular broker that already had the account that was doing very well. And to be real honest, I mean, if somebody's doing very well and taking care of you, why would they replace them with me? To be honest, you know, it really wasn't valid. There's nothing I could do. Now I could beat my head thinking, okay, well, I'll just keep trying to get in there. I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something different. So in order to stand out from the competition, I found out what they didn't have. Instead of saying what you have, we can do better. So, well, do you have this? No, I don't. I was able to build a relationship with them, providing different products, ancillary products, and develop a relationship with them. So I stood out from my competition. Instead of fighting them for something, I just found another thing to provide. So that's one thing. The other thing is that a lot of folks aren't doing this bundling. I mean, it's a common concept that's across the country and has been, well, I've been promoting it for about 6 years, but people now in the last 2.5 years have been talking about bundling health and ancillary. Now we know from a P&C side, I mean, heck, every commercial with Geico and State Farm, it's bundling. What bundling? Well, now it's found its way into the health world. So it wouldn't have found its way in the health world if it wasn't important. Okay. So first of all, you want to stand out from your competition. You want to actually be able to provide it, because if you don't, somebody else will. So what happens if somebody else does? Now they have a relationship with another broker. So now our relationship with them has softened or minimized because there's somebody else there. The next thing is from a dollars and cents point. What I see people doing is we all spend time and money to get a client, whether they're a referral, a lead, you know, however you get this person, you spend time, you spend money, and you develop a relationship. Okay. So one way that you can bring life into your bottom line without expending more time and money is to introduce these type of products, because they need them and they're going to find somebody to talk to them about it. And it should be you. So all of a sudden, any extra commissions that you make now go straight to your bottom line as profit, because you already have the relationship. The other thing it does is, number 3, it protects your clients. And number 4, it protects your book of business. Why is bundling important? It is a proven fact that the more different types of coverages you have with somebody, the chance of them leaving you for a better price or some slick presentation, it drops dramatically. So now all of a sudden, what do we face every year? Most brokers tell me, well, I get so much new business, but I lose business every year too because of X, Y, or Z. Well, if you start bundling new products with them, 1, you're expanding your profit. 2, you're protecting your clients from these episodes that can financially be devastating. And 3, you're buying insurance to protect your own book of business. So every year you're netting more business because you're not losing. Everything you add on is an addition to, not a replacement of, right?
Right.
Does that make sense? So that's kind of how that works.
Okay.
Here's
Makes
what
sense.
here's what a lot of folks are saying here. You can read this, but nationally, people are realizing, the go-to voluntary products aren't just life and disability. Now accident, critical illness, hospital indemnity are very much becoming really important in the workforce. People are seeing the value of it, and sales are high. So you have to remember, 78% of everyone in this country, and it's important to internalize this because this is what gives you passion, okay? Anybody can read off a chart and sell something, but what gives you passion is understanding that 78% of everybody is living paycheck to paycheck. Now, that doesn't mean they're poor. That just means that they are expending their income in savings, in their monthly bills or whatever, and then whatever they have left over, they're spending, because we are definitely an economic selling, buying type country. So it doesn't mean that they're poor. They just don't have cash laying around. Okay. So if you're a senior market person, there's 2 ways to look at this. If you're a senior market person, your main financial goal is security. 100%. I'm on a fixed budget. I have my money invested. My house is paid off. It's not. This is how much I make. This is what I can spend. This is my life. And now that they're not working anymore, that is the most important thing to them. So therefore, any kind of sickness or unexpected event that causes out-of-pocket expenses for them is a big deal. And that's not just Medicare Advantage folks, that's Medicare Supplement folks too. So now if it's not playing in their budget and they have to pull $300, $400, $500, $1,000, $2,000 out, it really threatens their financial stability and they get scared. And so it's a very welcomed conversation. For people under 65, the bottom line is they have high deductibles. People don't have $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 laying around to pay off their exposures with their deductibles because something unexpected happens. So everything is shifted. Things are just not long-term issues now. Things are dealing with economic short-term things. So ancillary health products, you can see they're providing a financial safety net for people under 65. They're providing a financial safety net for everybody over 65. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep.
Good. All right. So here's another point. And we can just, review this too. How do you do it? And
so let me just ask you, John, what's an easy way to engage and bubble this conversation with say like a current client?
Yeah, well, that's exactly, you're right on time with what I'm talking about here. So here's the thing. Again, some agents, and I'm just being honest, you'll find out, and Christy will tell you, I'm a no nonsense, straight ahead kind of guy. Just, I've been in sales. I know when it's a good day. I know it's a bad day. I know when you're not working. I know when you're working. I know how it all works. Okay. So we're kindred. But the one thing that some agents have trouble with is calling their existing clients. I sold them. I'm not going to mess with it. Yeah. Well, in today's world, it's critical that you call them. So this is what we're seeing. Courtesy calls to reestablish trust. Right. So if Christy was my client, hey, Christy, it's John. How you doing? She's going to say, fine. Hey, listen, as your advisor, I never call myself as a salesperson, as your advisor or as your consultant. It's been a while since we talked. You have this product with me. Everything's safe. You want to say this, everything's safe, everything's good, everything's secure. Do you have any questions or anything that you'd like to talk about? And let them talk. Because right now I'm talking to you. But if I was consulting you, I want you to tell me what's important to you. That's the difference between a salesperson. If I came to you, Christy, and said, hey, listen, I've got an invoice for a $35,000 Mercedes. It's a great deal. Here it is. Are you going to buy it? Not unless you're looking for one. Not unless you're looking for one. But it's a great deal. It's $10,000 under. but you're not going to buy it if you're not looking for a car, or maybe you are, but you need to know more about it. Same concept. So that's the first thing. Call your clients up. The
Right.
worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to thank you, and you're going to remind them why they chose you in the first place.
Right.
Right?
And exactly. And 9 times out of 10, they may hang up the phone and say, that was really nice. I mean, they just called to make sure that they were telling me everything's safe. They just wanted to say hi. And, even if nothing comes of it, just making that courtesy call, people appreciate that.
Well, that's what separates you. And if you think about it from a relationship standpoint, if I don't call you for 2 years,
Yeah.
our relationship isn't going to be the same unless I call you once a month like I do. Right?
Right.
Time has a way of kind of disconnecting. So that's the first and foremost, most important thing. The second thing is you already know the details about their health plans or out-of-pocket deductibles, if they've got Medicare and Medicare Advantage. You know all that already. So you want to go ahead and do a little inventory and say, has anything changed? I got this person's not on the plan anymore. This person is, whatever. And then you want to use real-time questions to uncover the medical and the non-medical. So I devised these 4 questions, and I'd like to show you what we've done. And Christy, I'm going to role play with you. So
Okay.
you're a client of mine that has a $6,000 deductible, a $12,000 total out of pocket, and I'm going to make this courtesy call. All right. So Christy, hey, it's John. Right now I know you have, your insurance with me, and we've got health coverage. And I just wanted to touch base with you because I've learned of some things that, could be a challenge and maybe have a negative impact on you and the family. So I want to get your opinion on a few things. Are you okay if I ask you a question?
Sure.
Now, in this case, number 1 says, are you currently enrolled? That's if you don't know.
Okay.
Let's say you've sold them life or whatever, not health insurance.
Right. Okay.
If you ask them, are you currently enrolled in a high deductible, their answer is going to be yes. Because whether it's 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, it's high.
Yeah, right.
You just say yes. And then the second question with that follow-up is question A or B is, well, can you tell me how much it is? So I'm going to say, Christy, I know that it's $5,000, $6,000 per se, and for you guys, and $12,000 out of pocket. So I'm going to ask you a question. I really need you to be honest with me. I want to get your opinion. How do you really feel about that right now?
Well, I mean, I'm not really nuts about that. I mean, we never really reach that out-of-pocket max, but if we had to, we'd have to dip into our savings if something happened. And to be honest with you, we've had to, in years past, had to reach in. My husband had cancer, so we had to go right in and reach in and grab that $12,000 to pay off some of those things to get to that deductible. It's not fun.
Now, so that's a perfect example of what somebody might say. The one thing we do know, no one's going to tell you that they're happy.
Right.
No one's going to say whatever. They're going to say, I'm indifferent, or they might use foul language.
Right. Right.
Pissed off, or they might say, when's this going to stop? Or this seems to continually be moving. It could be any number of things, or exactly what you said.
Right.
Then I'm going to say to you the third question. And by the way, these can be done in 30 seconds.
Right.
Nice and fluid. But we're stopping so you understand the why. So Christy, I appreciate you sharing that with me. I know, it's tough for a lot of people. So I have another question. Tell me, really, when it comes to this deductible and everything, what really is your biggest concern?
Going to eat through my savings. Something happens to me. What if it's me next? Then, blowing through our savings, then what do we have left for retirement?
Okay.
I mean, not that we wouldn't, but we like to have a vacation or two, and now, we don't have stuff set aside for that.
Right. Well, I appreciate you being honest with me about that. So let me ask you a question. Based on your experience, what do you think could unexpectedly happen to you to put you in that position?
Cancer. It runs in my family. For me, cancer, it's on both sides, that's what I think. Obviously, a terrible accident, but cancer for sure.
Okay. And has there been any experiences with you or close friends of people that had to have stays in the hospital or things like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
2 to
again,
3 days, 4 days.
yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing that with me because that's what I'm hearing from a
Yeah.
lot of folks. So the reason I called is I want to get your opinion on it because I don't want to assume that that's how you feel. But with the concerns over that, I want to let you know I do have a few cost-effective solutions to those problems I want to review with you because I think we can affordably get you in a position to where
I don't know. I pay a lot already in premiums. And so part of me feels like, I feel like I'm insurance poor. I feel like I'm delving out money for insurance policies day and night. So how expensive are these plans?
well, we'll review it. We'll review it and see to what your level of comfortability is. But I appreciate you sharing this with me because that's what I'm hearing from other people. And I wanted to get your opinion on it because as your advisor, it's my job not to just talk about what policies do, but what they don't do
Okay.
and where something unexpected can happen. So, I mean, I'll give you an example. My poor little grandson was in the hospital for 2 weeks, almost died. And it was a $7,000 deductible bill to my daughter and her husband.
Hmm.
I mean, I went, oh my gosh, where are you going to get the money to pay that? Since
Yeah.
everybody's living paycheck to paycheck, they just don't have the extra cash.
Right.
That's
Right.
how we're going to deal with that. So anyhow, so I'm going to show you a couple now. So those are the 4 questions. If you
Right.
answer those questions, the best thing that's going to happen is they're going to tell you what their experience has been. And when they tell you what their experience has been, guess what they're going to do? They're going to be open to solving that problem because they told you instead of you telling them, they told you.
Gotcha.
So a lot of folks, so I'm going to show you how people are doing this. They're reappropriating their dollars financially. So here's an example. These are based out of Michigan rates from 2019. Somebody's got a $4,350 family deductible, $1,536 they're paying per month. So what we did is, well, what would it happen if we reappropriated? So we bumped the deductible up, what, $900 or so, $950, and added in a $25,000 family accident plan with no deductible. Look at the bottom line. They're
Wow.
saving $400 a month on their total healthcare costs.
And so these are real examples of,
Yeah,
okay.
this is a real example. So
Okay.
instead of having their traditional health plan that they have, we raised the deductible by $950. All right. So now they have the accident plan built in. So they're saving $400 a month.
Wow. Yeah.
Guess what? $400 a month times 12 months is $5,000.
Yeah.
That almost pays for the deductible. See what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
by bundling in the accident plan, you have eliminated their deductible and given them $25,000 of accident coverage in case anybody in the family has an accident of any kind. That's what you're doing. You're basically, and you're getting commissions on both products, not just the one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good, fantastic. Okay, so now let's look at a hospital recovery plan the same way. Now, a hospital recovery plan is going to be a little bit more because here, as an example, we chose a $500 daily benefit amount. Well, that's a lot. Now, if my daughter would have had that and had their son on the plan, it would have gave them $7,000 and totally paid their deductible.
Wow.
Totally paid it. Again, they're saving $250 a month. So that's about $3,000. So now they've got $3,000 of the deductible covered, but they have a $500 daily benefit amount for the entire family, each person.
Wow.
So what happens if you go in the hospital? If you go into the hospital and you're a younger person, obviously you're not losing wages or whatever. You're just in the hospital. So $500 a day, you're in for 7 days. That's $3,500. That's going to take care of things.
Right.
But what I would share with people is I ask the clients, I say, listen, if Chrissy, if you or your husband or your kids, anybody went in the hospital, how much would you lose per day in income by attending to them and being there for them? Well, I
Mhm.
make $200 a day. Well, then you should buy a $200 a day hospital
Right,
plan.
right,
Or anybody goes in, you can be there, not take PTO, or maybe you don't have vacation, no unpaid days.
right,
You can be there to take care of your family. And when they get discharged, you get reimbursed, and there you go. So
right.
that's with the hospital plan. And this is how it looks with a critical illness.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
critical illness, that deductible is a little bit higher. It's like almost double. Oh my gosh, my deductible is $8,500. Yeah, it is. Well, you have a $25,000 benefit amount. So as you said, cancer. If my wife gets cancer, diagnosed with stage 1 cancer, we're getting a check for $25,000 tax-free. That's going to more than pay for the deductible and also give me dollars to pay for any of the out-of-pocket stuff that's going to happen. So you can see that reappropriating the dollars really
Makes sense.
it's everything. And again, remember, they're benefiting because they're saving money. So they're
Right.
saving $250 a month. So that's what, about $3,000. So they're saving $3,000 out of their pocket. They've got critical illness insurance because they shared with us that they have cancer in their family. So
Right.
now they feel confident about that. And whether it's accident, hospital, critical, you're not going to have an unexpected event cause a financial problem while you're
Correct.
dealing with the physical and emotional one.
Correct.
So any questions on that? I mean, that's kind of a lot, but it's really kind of simple.
Yeah, and we'll hit questions at the end. We should be able to look at our chat feature and
Okay. So here's one last one, and this deals with people that are on a silver plan to maybe a bronze plan. You see this here? All right, so this is husband and wife. They're 45, non-smokers, 2 children, no subsidy. This is just standard health insurance. They got a silver plan, $3,500 deductible, 80/20 co-insurance with $73.50 out-of-pocket max, and total out-of-pocket maximum of $14,700 per family, paying $1,625. Now we bumped them to a bronze plan and raised the deductible to $6,650. Okay, but now they're 100% co-insurance. The out-of-pocket maximum is dropped to $13,300, and we've added $25,000 of accident, $25,000 of critical illness, and $500 a day hospital recovery to the plan, right? And their total monthly premiums for everything are $400 a month less.
wow.
Now they got $4,800 that they've saved that can apply to a deductible, but now they have family coverage that's fantastic that will also pay for any of those deductibles, plus give them cash that they can use to pay for whatever financial challenge they have, because there's no stipulations on what you do with the money.
Wow.
So
Eh,
that's kind of what people are doing right now to be
Right.
successful. And again, you're getting paid on the health insurance, you're getting paid on the personal accident, the critical illness, the hospital recovery, and you're making more money. You're adding value to your clients.
Right.
You just bought insurance for your client base because now they're not going to leave you because they have all these products with you. You stood out from your competition. You've accomplished everything we're looking to do.
Right. It's a different way of looking at this. It's a
It
whole
is.
new way of
And
looking at
a
this.
lot of people are scared, but
Right.
here's what I would tell you. That the worst thing that's going to happen is your clients are going to thank you for thinking about a different way to help them.
That's right.
Number 2, if you're running a renewal, run your standard renewal and then run a renewal like this. So when you go back to them and say, listen, it's time to renew, there's an 8% increase. If you kept everything the same, here's the program. Let them read it. Say, but as your advisor, I realize this is always a challenge for everyone.
Right.
Try to look at this a different way. Now, this is based after having the conversation and find out they had cancer in the family, they had accidents, hospital. Say, I think I found a way to accomplish all your concerns and actually save you some money. Would you be
Right.
interested? Absolutely. And then show them this. This is what they're going to buy.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
the worst thing that's going to happen is, they say, no, I just want to stick with the plan I had. Great. But at least you gave them something to option from.
That's right.
Good. All right. So that's the comparable part of it. I hope you guys have grabbed onto that. Everybody that is successful is doing it. You can still be successful and not do it. But I will tell you, it's the easiest way to grow your business.
I would agree.
By far, the easiest way. All right, you want to get into a little bit of product stuff?
Sure, let's go ahead.
Okay, so we consider our accident plan our flagship product because of the fact it's guaranteed renewable. It's ranked third in the country in sales. And here's some of the key facts of it. Anybody can get it. All right. Now, it's got accidental death coverage built in now, which is good. We increased the reporting time from 3 days to a week. There's $0 deductible. We'll cover up to 2 surgeries. But here's the real issue that makes this important. I'll use Aflac. I don't have any problem using that. Aflac pays from a schedule of benefits, which means if I break my arm and it's minor, and Christy, you break your arm and it's major, we're both going to get compensated the same for a broken arm, whether it's $200 or whatever, even though it might have cost 5 times as much of fixtures, because of the fact that it's all line item. With us, we pay off the EOB. So if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan and you get your explanation of benefits, and it says, well, here's a $10,000 charge from the doctors and providers. On the far left is always the gross number. The next number is the customary acceptable negotiated down number by Blue Cross. Let's say that's 8,000.
Okay.
If you had that happen to you, we in turn would match what Blue Cross is paying on your behalf, and we would send $8,000 cash to you tax-free. Doesn't have anything to do with deductibles, doesn't have anything to do with out-of-pockets, any of that stuff. It's simply put, whatever the insurance company pays to satisfy your debt with the providers, we will match it, send that back to you. Now, if I have $15,000 of annual coverage, which is the most you can get as an individual, I would pull 8,000 out of that and give that to you. You'd have 7,000 left that you then in turn could claim on through the rest of the year. And then January 1, it fills back up to 15,000 again.
Okay.
So if you compared this to any scheduled benefits plan, this is going to pay up 50% to 100% more.
Wow. Yeah.
The costs are right in line.
Right.
So this right here just talks a little bit about what we did. Now I'm hitting on this because of the fact that you guys all need to know that about every 3 years, we will enhance a product. We realize that the market changes and market needs change. So you're not going to have the same old plan for 10 years.
Yeah.
So we enhanced this last year. 2 big enhancements. The one is we changed the renewability from a renewable to age 75 and then discontinued to renewable to age 85. Well, guess what? People are living longer.
Right.
So therefore now this is perfect for senior market folks. One, everybody pays the same rate. There's no gender or age rating. There's a rate for a person, a rate for a couple, a rate for an adult with kids, and there's a rate for a family. So like Christy's much younger than I am. So therefore, she and I, though, would pay the same amount of money for the same coverage. Got it? You can get up to $25,000 for a family. What we did add is we added in the accidental death. So if you die within the first 90 days, guess what? We're going to give you $10,000 to your estate, $5,000 for any children. We added a deductible of 0. And now if you do get hurt, you have up to a week to seek initial care to be taken care of. So here's the hot points with that. Guaranteed issue, no underwriting, $0 deductible. Obviously, we pay more than anybody else. The other factor is this 24/7, on and off the job. So therefore, since we don't coordinate with any other insurances, healthcare, workers' comp, anything, it's always in addition to.
It's great.
Right? And it's perfect for families with, young active children.
So if I'm already getting workman's comp because I got injured on my job, and I file a claim with my employer, I can additionally file a claim.
Right. If you get hurt, if you have a life secure accident plan and you get hurt, whether it's at work or not, we get our hands on the EOB, we can pay from that. The only caveat with workers' comp is the workers' comp people don't want you to know. So it takes a little work to get them to get us the information of what happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a little cumbersome, but we will pay in addition to. It doesn't matter what worker comp does. It doesn't matter what your health insurance does. We don't coordinate with them. So yes, if you have a workers' comp claim and it's caused by an accident, you have coverage from us, you would get paid in addition to.
Okay.
Good?
Good.
Cool?
I love it.
All right.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
buy one.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
already have one.
You already have one. So let's talk about the hospital plan. The hospital plan is set up this way. We just enhanced this last year. And when we enhanced it last year, sales grew 35%.
Oh, wow.
That's why it's important to review them, right?
Yeah.
So we issue 18 to 85, unless you're in North Carolina. We cover inpatient care and observation care. So here's the key thing for this product. It's guaranteed renewable for life. It never times out. Once you have it, you can keep it for the whole duration.
Wow.
Now,
Good.
obviously, the older you get, the more important that becomes.
Yeah.
Now, this product is age banded and unisex rates. One thing I do want to share is how our rate structures are done. Whatever rate you come in at with any of our products, that's the rate you keep. It does not go up because you age older.
Okay.
Very important thing.
Okay.
Application sign state, I didn't address this before. All of our products are application sign state. That means if somebody from the great state of Ohio,
I like that shirt.
Ohio State, if somebody from the
Not.
great state of Ohio is into Michigan and I run into you and you're like, hey, listen, this makes sense. How could I get this? You can sell me on a Michigan app in Michigan. I can take it back to Ohio and use it.
Okay. Good. It's great.
Talk about compatibility. Now, a couple things. Remember, I said that all these products can be sold individually in the work site. Well, the accident is always a guaranteed issue, so that's irrelevant. This product in the work site is guaranteed issue at a $200 a day benefit level.
Okay.
But individually for your T65 aging into Medicare clients, 64 and a half to 65 and a half, it's guaranteed issue, all levels of coverage. So
Great.
when you're talking to somebody who's aging into Medicare, you can say, listen, you have a one-time opportunity to get this product. It's guaranteed issue to you. No health questions asked.
No health questions. Right.
None. It's guaranteed renewable for your entire life.
Gotcha.
And your rate is not going to go up because you age.
Mm.
I've got to remember, for 65 and older folks, they want security.
Yep.
They want to plan it, put it there, have it done.
Yep.
And it fits perfectly for how
Right.
All right. So let's talk about how it works. It's pretty simple. You choose how much per day you want. We will pay up to 35 days a year. Okay, so like my grandson was in for 2 weeks, 14 days. If he was on his mom's plan, we got $7 grand. He would have had 21 more days to claim on for the year. God forbid he went back in. He'd have up to 21 more days. On January 1, it fills back to 35 days again. Now, the caveat with this plan, unlike the accident where you have a $25,000 pool that anybody in the family can access, and once the 25 is done, it's gone.
Yeah.
This particular plan, everybody on the plan has 35 days of coverage.
Oh, okay.
That's a huge,
Everybody does.
yeah. So if you look at some of our competitors, they might have 5 days of coverage,
Right.
coverage, maybe 14, because the average hospital stays, what, 5 or 6 days?
Uh-huh.
I can tell you right now, my neighbor, his kid was in for 3 weeks. My own grandson was in for 2 weeks. My
Right.
mother was in the hospital 4 times 1 year for a total of about 40 days.
Right.
So you don't know.
Right.
This not only covers your average and general situations, it covers catastrophic,
Right.
right? So if you have a Medicare EOB and you go in and Medicare EOB says, well, we paid this much for you, guess what? You know, you send in your discharge papers, you're in so many days. In this case, this discharge paper is going to say, I was in for 6 days. Oh, you had a $500 benefit. We're sending you a check for $3,000.
Yep.
So if you have Medicare Advantage exposure, you can use it to pay that. If you don't, because you have a great supplement plan, then you can use the money to pay for the people who are going to clean your house and shovel your walk and mow your grass and make your
Right.
food, whatever, get you to your appointments and stuff. Again, remember, for senior market folks, where this is kind of geared towards, it's all about security. And the out-of-pocket expenses that happen can be ongoing if your health changes, whether you have an accident or this. Now, my father-in-law, if he would have had an accident plan and this, they both would have paid. And he would have had $15,000 in his account to pay for anything he needed to and not once touch his thing. So the conversation is, I can tell you this, if you buy these plans, you're not going to have to go into your checkbook to write one check or into your savings to be able to take care of these unexpected events. So that's being a good consultant. Now, this plan does have 3 options. You can add in, so depending on what kind of coverage your clients have, you can have the emergency room or ambulance benefit. Just check it out. If you go to the ER, it's $300. Well, if your premium is $40 a month, $480 a year, and you go to the ER once for anything, it almost paid for your whole premium.
Right. Paid for itself. Right.
You might have CT, MRI, EEG exposures, or the one that everybody purchases is a rehab facility. Do you know that every hospital in this country either has a rehab facility or is affiliated with a rehab facility?
Yep.
There's so many people having elective surgeries on their elbows, their wrists, carpal tunnel, their knees, their ankles.
Hip replacement, knee replacement.
My wife
Yep.
had knee replacement last year. She had, surgery on her back and her foot this year.
Correct.
So if you leave the hospital and go to a facility, this particular benefit will pay $100 a day up to 15 days a year. That's $1,500.
Yeah, it's nice.
The cost for that is between 40 cents and $1 a month, depending on your age. It's so insignificant. Everybody should add that. So if you
I
do
agree.
this plan, just include it. So let's look at the hot points. Cash benefits, obviously. Everybody has their own bank of money. We have all the different riders that are there. Great for high deductible healthcare. Hey, if my son goes in the hospital, he's in there for 2 weeks. Like I said, my grandson, the $7,000 would have completely paid for their costs. Now, if you don't have guaranteed issue elements based on your age or how it's sold, it's very simplified. It's 4 questions and a very liberal height and weight chart.
Okay.
No,
I've seen that. It is very liberal.
well, I'm 5'8". I could weigh up to 257.
Okay.
If I did, they'd have me on a cart pushing me along. But here's the thing about this underwriting. The look back period is only 2 years.
Okay.
Now, many other companies, some you might be aware of, are very close to what this product does. Their underwriting might say, well, have you been in the hospital in the last 6 months? Have you been in the hospital in the last 12 months? Ours doesn't say that. Ours says, have you been hospitalized 3 or more times in the past 2 years? So let's say this year I've been in the hospital twice. I could still buy this plan because they haven't been in 3 times in the last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a huge issue.
Yeah.
Because if people don't qualify, guess what? It doesn't matter how good the product is, you can't sell it.
That's right. Can't get it.
So here's the third one, the last but not the least. Here's our critical illness plan. We issue 18 to 70. Many critical illnesses don't. They issue only 60 or 65. Now, I will say this particular plan is under enhancement review as we speak. So next year we will bring out a new enhanced version of this plan, which I think is excellent the way it is. Now, in this particular plan, children are automatically covered. The other 2 plans, you can add children in.
Okay.
Here, they're already there at $2,500 benefit amount. You can buy 5 to 50 grand. Now, this product is rated gender, age, nicotine or not. Now, built into this plan are a couple key benefits. The first one is the underwriting. If you submit a policy of $20,000 or less, we're only going to underwrite off the policy. 4 questions, height and weight chart. That's it. If you buy 25 or more, we're going to dig into the MIB and drug screen and see if there's anything in there related to what we're covering you for to see if there's anything we need to know. Most people get covered. Also built in is a return of premium. So people always say, well, what's that mean? Well, here's how it works. If you hold an active policy that you're paying on, and it's yours, it's active, you paid on it, it's good, and you pass away, we will in turn return all your premiums less any claims paid tax-free.
Okay.
House screening benefit. If you go in and have your yearly things done with your doctor, I just had my physical done in November. He said, don't come back till the next November. fact, he told me I don't like you because I don't make any money off you because you're not.
So don't come back.
But come back. I need to make my $500 off you, whatever. So I sent that in and got $50 because I had one of the 30 wellness tests. I had most of them done and do blood tests and all the different stuff they do. So that's how that works. So now let's talk about what we cover. So we researched what are people covering and what are people really claiming on. Now you can have some critical illness plans that cover all sorts of stuff, but people hardly ever claim on them.
Right.
So it's easy to put, well, we claim on this, but if
Right.
you have it, and it just makes it look good.
Sure.
These are the 9 things. So I'm going to use an example of $20,000. I have a $20,000 plan. So if I get diagnosed with a heart attack, like my good friend did last July, I would have got $20,000. Or a stroke, $20,000. I've had 3 friends get diagnosed with cancer in the last 6 months, all stage 1 through 4. They all would have got paid 20 grand. And same for major organ failure. Now, coronary artery disease, which means if you're on a statin drug, that classifies. A stage 0 cancer, prostate cancer, end stage renal, they'll all pay out at 25%. So in my situation, it'd be 5 grand. And then it pays skin cancer 1 time. Now, why is this? This section right here is really what makes this plan so significantly good. I think it's safe to say that everybody on this call today, however many people are there, I don't know how many people are on the call, but we're glad you're here. But everybody knows somebody who's been affected by a critical illness. All right. Health technology is advancing at such a fast rate that people are living longer and longer with multiple episodes of problems. So this plan has a reoccurrence benefit built in. Most other plans do not offer it, or if they do, you got to pay for it. Generally say we'll pay for cancer 1 time. You have to really read through it to understand what it does. So I'll give an example of a really good friend of mine. He lives in Jacksonville, Florida. He's was 49 years old when he first got diagnosed with cancer. Got it treated. In this case, in my example, he would have got $20,000 tax-free. 6 years later, now he's 55. It comes back. He calls me. If he would have had this plan, he would have got 50%. See, 50% of the benefit is payable for reoccurrences as long as it's 12 months treatment-free for cancer. Well, treatment-free is no chemo, no radiation. That's what the designation is for treatment-free for cancer. It had been 6 years. He would have got 10 grand. He said, the good news is there's a place I can go to get this fixed. I said, really? He goes, yeah, Baltimore, Maryland, Johns Hopkins. So 32 visits later from Jacksonville to Johns Hopkins.
Wow.
Is now in remission again. So he's 56 years old. He's in remission. If he goes a year without chemo or radiation and it comes back, which it probably will, he'll get 10,000 again.
Wow.
So this reoccurrence benefit fits all this, all the illnesses, because people are living, they're not dying. And so this is, pardon the pun, this is critical coverage. If I was actively selling, and I say this to anybody I care about, you need this.
Yeah.
You need to have it. Now, what happens if I get multiple different diseases? Okay. So if I get cancer, I get 20 grand. Then 6 months or more later, I have something else happen, prostate cancer. I get paid full for that. The reoccurrence kicks in when you get paid additionally for the same disease. The separate disease, as long as there's 6 months in between, will pay. So now, why is that significant? Many plans have a tendency to reduce benefits when you get older.
Right.
That's when you need the money.
Right.
So I wouldn't have a plan like that. The second thing is many companies will cap how much they'll pay out. So if you have a $20,000 plan, they might say, well, listen, we will pay out no more than $35,000 total for you.
Right.
This plan, as long as you're paying premium, you have an active plan, we'll continue to pay under these parameters. That's significant.
Yeah, it is.
That will not change. That is a core benefit with this plan that is just unbelievable. So here's the hot points on it. We don't limit how much we'll pay you as long as you have a policy. Return of premium, health screening. We talked about that, kids, REM. And if you do worksite stuff, I will tell you we'll do groups as low as 3 to 9. There's no carriers that do groups under 10.
Right.
Christy, I had somebody the other day ask me, I got a guy who's got 5 employees. I said, well, first of all, in today's economy, if he's got 5 employees, they're everything to him. He goes, yeah, they are. He says he wants to do something for them. So we quoted out 5,000 of accident. We quoted out $200 a day of hospital, which was guaranteed issue, $10,000 of critical illness, which is guaranteed issue. We could provide those 3 products guaranteed issue for a group of 3 to 9 for a total of $330 to the employer.
Wow, that's impressive.
A no-brainer.
Yeah,
It's a no-brainer.
that's awesome.
In today's environment, the number one problem isn't what the government's doing. It's the fact that they can't find workers.
Right.
So just like you're looking at doing this to protect your business, they're looking at bringing these products in to protect their business. I just talked to
right.
last night, playing golf last night, which I won, but I did not play very well.
But that's another story.
Story. I was talking to a guy and he's in the local town I'm in. I said, hey, how's it working for you? He goes, well, normally we'll pay people $11 an hour to start. It's a fishery place where they sell Lake Erie perch and walleye.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, we're offering $16 an hour to find people to start, and only 1 person came to work. $16 an hour. And people aren't working because whatever the reason is. And I don't want to get political, so I'm not going to get into it. But the bottom line is employers have to protect their workforce. If you want to find a great way to make money, start selling to small businesses under 100. They will be open to your conversation. If you want me to teach you how to do it, because you could really screw it up if you don't know, I'll help you. Because again, it's
Awesome.
Very simple conversation, but it's methodically done. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, here's actually the copy of what we did on the bundling. So people had healthcare coverage, they bundled this in. The employer says, I'll take it right now all day long. So a couple of things about doing business with us. I mean, obviously you can do business anywhere. Christy will tell you she has experience on both sides of the fence. I've been here 6 years. I've never had an agent call me and complain about the service they got from us.
Nope.
So therefore, you can quote all of our products at once. You can write them all on the same app. People can sign via screen share. Right now, we're doing a screen share Zoom. If I gave you mouse control, you could sign for your product. Or you can sign via text, or you can sign via email, right? There's no application fees. Actually, on our quoting tool now, there's a button that you can quote something, hit e-quote. It'll send all the product information to the customer and a link that they can click in and enroll themselves. You don't have to leave your office. Obviously, we do EFTs, mail all bills, all Visa, MasterCard, and everything's done quickly. The accident plan is guaranteed issue. The other 2 plans will issue if they're in the worksite. They'll issue the next day if they're guaranteed issue. And if they're not regular underwriting, they're going to be approved in 1 to 3 days. And all of our claims, once we have everything in house that we need to make the determination, all of our claims pay out within a day. So this is my information. You can write this down if you want. I will tell you from an agent support standpoint, I just had an agent call me today. They had a problem with some licensing stuff. He said, normally when I talk to other carriers, it takes a week or 14 days to get something done. I called in today. Your girl fixed it right while we were on the phone. He goes, I can't tell you how important that was to me.
And I will attest to that. Obviously, those of you who know me know that I used to work at Lifestick Care, and I stand behind the products. I stand behind their processes and all of their teams. They're excellent, but clearly they're just awesome. I don't know what you did there.
Well, I'm getting off. I want to go back into Zoom and put my face back on the screen, but it's not letting me.
But now, can you go back to, let's see, now we see your calendar.
Yeah, you can see.
Just go back to your,
Yeah, I'll put the power back on. All right, here
just
we go.
to the Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can still see my screen, okay?
I can.
Okay.
I mean,
All
and
right.
that's fine.
I'll go to this slide right here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, so any questions that anybody has?
I'm gonna look here real quick to see if we have any chats, if there was anybody who had questions. I don't see anything. That could be a good thing. Let me look in the Q&A. Oh, there we are. Let me see in the Q&A. And I don't see any questions there. Again, that means you were either very thorough.
Well, I'm taking that as a good thing and not a bad thing.
I am too. But because we have no questions, I will wrap this up. And John, I want to thank you very much for your time today. As always, you're the best. Love it.
Happy to be part of the team.
Thank you so much, my friend. And just to our agents out there is, as I wrap up, I do want to remind everyone, ID has refreshed our website. So I urge you to go out into our website, www.iadbrokerage.com. Take a look at it, log in. If you've never done it, create a username and password. If you've done it, you may have to get a new password, so don't be frustrated with that. But we have some really cool new tools available, and we're excited to share them with you. But you got to go out there and log in. So we appreciate everybody's time, John. I'll get with you. This will be in our YouTube library. I'll send you a copy of it. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a great weekend. Bye.